Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to Harry Potter Month and the channel. And if you guys, this is my very first, I'm finally freaking doing this. It took me God knows how long, but I'm finally doing it for you guys and myself. I am going to be reviewing the first, technically, it's not the first, but it is a prequel. It is technically the first, I guess, in the canon. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So I just watched this today, and yeah, I'm going to be reviewing it. So finally I've been able to do it. It's been a really long time coming, honestly. And let me just say that David Yates is, I think, the best Harry Potter director. I think that there's been maybe a few, nooks and crannies where he's screwed up. Maybe, I don't know. This is the first one I've seen this month, so I need to rewatch all of these other 9. But David Yates is great in this movie. He's a great director. J.K. Rowling, this is, I believe, the first movie that she's ever written. Of course, she's obviously the author of the Harry Potter books. And for all the Harry Potter movies, at least, she wasn't really involved with writing as much as she is. This one, she, like Rian Johnson with The Last Jedi, J.K. Rowling completely wrote the entire script for Fantastic Beasts 1 and 2, which will be the next one. And she did a good job writing the script. You know, there's a few, maybe J.K. Rowling has been a little bit strange and kind of bowed to people in a sense to make people happy, and that's all I'm going to go on that. She does, however, deliver a great script in this movie. So David Yates is great, J.K. Rowling's great. Now, is the movie great? And I remember seeing this back in 2016, I believe, for my birthday party. And I saw it without my glasses, so now I'm seeing it in HHD, I guess, with a sound bar on, with a good flat screen TV, and the sound design, and it looks fantastic. You know, the CGI is at its best so far. Again, watching Harry Potter 1 through, I guess, 8. Well, I haven't done it this month, but I've seen them before. And seeing this one, this is the best out of all the Harry Potter movies and Fantastic Beasts. I think this one has the best CGI out of all of them. Again, maybe I'll say something different after Crimes of Grindelwald, but for right now, from what I remember at least, this movie has excellent CGI. And there's a lot of CGI. But going forward with that, David Yates directed a beautiful movie. Now, yes, there's beautiful things like women and CGI and whatever, but when I say beautiful, I don't mean things or people. I mean the actual movie itself is freaking gorgeous looking. You know, there's a lot of great shots, the cinematography's through the roof. It's really, really good. The movie's just freaking great to look at, and it really shines up the whole film. And like I said, in terms of writing, J.K. Rowling knocked it out of the park. There's really not any weird lines, or any weird, oh, that's not, really like the prequels, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have anything said differently. When it comes to the acting, everything across the board is great. I think everyone does a great job. There's no actor that's really kind of strange. I think that Newt Scamander is a great character. You know, he's very much a loving, he's your typical, movie character, animal lover, but he's not just that. You know what I mean? He's that, but when his creatures, or his beasts, I guess, are in danger, he will fight for that suitcase. You know what I mean? He's not just like, whatever. He's not a weakling like Credence. He's actually like a badass guy if you need him to be. You know what I mean? He's punching people, he's zapping people, He's not just a kind of a weak, frail animal lover dude. He really steps it up when he needs to. Jacob Kowalski's another good character. He's mainly, in this movie, he's kind of like Star Wars The Force Awakens. Excellent films, but really, like Poe Dameron, Rey, Finn, a bunch of the sequel characters are really good characters in The Force Awakens, but they're not really defined by anything, Poe's just the cool guy, But in The Last Jedi, he becomes something different, His character grows in that film. And same thing here. Jacob really is just the token comedic funny guy in Where to Find Them, but from what I remember, in Crimes of Grindelwald, he is a little bit of a better character. Now, I'm not saying Jacob's a bad character, it's just that he kind of is just kind of like that, oh, I'm the funny guy, he'll laugh and he'll go, ha! He'll do random things like that. And it's funny, he is funny, and he's good at playing comedic relief, but there's not much to it other than that. Yes, he loves Queenie, and Queenie loves him, and there's a really good romantic relationship there. I think it's really, really well handled. They do a great job with the music and the writing and the cinematography, the directing, all that comes together to make a really good romantic relationship between Jacob and Queenie. But really, he is just kind of, I guess, I'm funny, Queenie is, of course, I don't want to say telepath, it's probably something else, I forgot the name of it, but she can read people's minds. And essentially, she kind of, in this movie, Queenie Goldstein is kind of like the ditzy blonde, in a sense, the stereotype ditzy female that's kind of like, I'm a female, and I'm going to cook, and I'm crazy, and I'm sexy, that's basically what it is. And just like Jacob being the comedic relief, that's what Queenie is. She's just the woman that loves Jacob, you know what I mean? But really, in Crumb's World, she becomes something different. But in this movie, I don't have a problem with that, because it fits the movie, it fits the 1920s era, it fits really, really well. But that essentially is what they wrote. You know, J.K. Rowling wrote Queenie as kind of ditzy, kind of crazy, kind of just, you know, I can read your mind, and, you know, that's basically, she cooks a lot. That's basically it. She is funny at times, and I think that she has good chemistry with Jacob in the film, but other than that, I do like the fact that she can kind of read minds. It's not really too much involved, or really at all, in the Harry Potter film, so it's kind of cool that, you know, there's people like that in the Wizarding world. And it's kind of funny that she, you know, she doesn't mean to invade your privacy and your mind. She just kind of does it. And Newt and Jacob, and you know, they're like, stop freaking reading my mind, you know, and she's like, oh, sorry. So it's kind of funny that's there. Porpentina, or Tina Goldstein, is another good character. I think she's kind of the, I guess, the cute one, I guess. I mean, they're both pretty, but she acts cute, you know what I mean? She gets mustard on her face, and she's kind of she's just innocent, you know? So it's kind of, she's pretending to be an aura. So there's a lot of things going on with all these characters, and they kind of come together well. I wouldn't say that they are perfect characters, because, again, Jacob's the funny guy, Queenie's the crazy lady, you know, Porpentina's kind of the innocent one, Newt's the animal lover, you know, so there's a lot of these stereotype roles that goes into these characters, and they kind of get fleshed out more as these films go on. But so far, as this movie alone, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, I think that everything kind of works, you know. Grindelwald, played by Johnny Depp, is in this. It's a whole nother freaking ballgame right there, because now he's effed, because Amber Turd and all that stuff, the whole 9 yards. He's good in this, you know, he's in it for a split second, but he's in it. Of course, Percival Graves, who I had on my wand showcase that I have. Looking at my wands over there. When I show my wands, I have Percival Graves, which is Grindelwald, and I really freaking like what they did here. I noticed it. I didn't remember too much of this movie, so I kind of went in going blind. And there's a shot of Grindelwald at the very beginning where he kind of murders a bunch of people, and you see, like, the back of his head, it's like a slick back, and then it's kind of like balding over here. You know what I mean? That kind of hairstyle. And one of the first shots you see of Percival Graves is him walking toward the camera with the exact same hairstyle, but it's black, you know. So it's kind of cool that, you know, the first time I saw the movie, I didn't notice, you know. So the big reveal that Percival Graves is Grindelwald was like, holy crap, you know. But now that I know and I watch this film, it's kind of cool that I'm like, oh, that's a clever shot, you know. It's kind of telling the audience. So there's a lot of clever things in there. I think Credence, I don't really like Ezra Miller as a person, but as the Flash, I don't really like him either, but I think he plays a good Credence Barebone, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want to say, and Credence is kind of like the typical biatch little kid, you know what I mean? He's the kid that everyone picks on, he's kind of shy and timber, and he cries like a baby, you know, but really he's just kind of an emotionally unstable dude, because his mom beats the shit out of him, so that's kind of jacked up, and I'm glad she effing died, little freak. But yeah, so again, you know, Credence is a good character, you know, Ezra plays a good Credence. Everyone in this movie plays a good role, and it's all written well, directed well, shot well. The CGI there's a little CGI heavy, you know, there's a scene where an apple floats by, and you can tell when CGI is CGI because it looks kind of slippery and rubbery and whatever. You know, there's a few scenes when the characters move, like when Newt kind of Accio Jacob, and he goes, you know, he kind of slides like that. It looks a little wonky, you know, an apple floats by. I know one of the first shots of the film where it's kind of like a wide shot of a building, and you see some American flags when Newt goes to New York in the beginning. The American flag is, you know, fluttering in the wind, and if you notice my hand here, it's supposed to be like this, you know, but the flag goes like, it kind of like glitches. It glitches and you know, that's just a CGI mishap. But again, it is noticeable if you're looking for it. So you know, I'm not really gonna dock a point for that. It's like, oh, Ewan McGregor in episode 1, his hair changes, or you know, just stupid stuff. You know, I mean, if you're Jeans guy from Mandalorian, you know, you're only gonna notice these things if you really look for them. So those really aren't negatives. Yes, it shouldn't have been there, but it's not a blatant in-your-face F-up. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, oh, you know, it's a mistake, whatever. So I'm not really docking for that American flag glitch. Tell me in the comments if you noticed that too, but I noticed that back in 2016. Now with my glasses on, I can really see it. But again, I mean, it's a great film. You know, it has a lot of tender moments. It's very moving in the end. That I remember, you know, the whole where Queenie kisses Jacob in the rain and then she kind of backs out of frame. And it's just, the movie is shot extremely well, and David Yates does a great job with it. Everything kind of comes together in the end for a great thing. Credence is, of course, alive. You know, there's really not much to hate about Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I think it's up there with the best of the Harry Potter films. It really is a tremendous achievement in film. I really freaking love it. I mean, this did what The Force Awakens did for the sequels, you know. We haven't had a Star Wars movie since 2005, and then 2015 came along with Episode 7. it was amazing. You know, it was like Star Wars is back, at least for the real fans. All the haters were bitching and all that, but really, Star Wars was back, and Fantastic Beasts is the big bang that Harry Potter needed, that the Wizarding World needed. So, I'll have to see. I remember really enjoying The Crimes of Grindelwald. I know a lot of people hate it. Maybe I'll hate it too. Who knows? I'm going to watch it as soon as I can and get that review out too. Tell me in the comments what you think about Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And if you have any critiques, tell me in the comments. Again, you can talk about spoilers all you want. This is an older film, so you know it's completely embargo-free in the comments if you want. So again, hope you guys enjoyed my review. Again, not many negatives. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe the flag glitch. I think my only real negative that maybe I dock 1 point or 2 points is the fact that this movie is very effed up and dark. You know, like you have the lady beating Credence, and you have Credence kind of using this, you know, this dark magic to kind of, you know, F everything up and destroy New York City. You have Grindelwald posing as, you know, Graves. There's a lot of dark things happening that are probably, if not, you know, dark or if not darker, more dark than the Harry Potter stuff, you know, and those movies get pretty dark too. But there's a lot of heavy stuff going on, but, you know, for all the heaviness you have, you know, Newt catching these beasts in New York with pretty engaging and entertaining sequences. You know, you have Jacob kind of flopping around and being funny and laughing. And if that's my only negative, you know, I would say that to put it in a word is that it feels, the tone feels a little off, you know, because you're going from one scene which is really dark and heavy to a scene where, you know, Jacob is almost getting, you know, effed, literally, by a big rhino creature, you know, so it's kind of, it goes from, like, really dark stuff to really funny stuff, kind of interchangeably, and that's not too bad, because that's literally the story, you know what I mean, that's the point, but maybe it's a bit too, I don't want to say on the nose, but you know what I mean, it's hard to explain, like, you're going from a really scene where a girl's beating her kid with a freaking belt, to going to, you know, Newt climbing in a goddamn suitcase, and being like, here's my creatures, you know, and it's the next scene is like full of wonder and awe, you know, and you're like, wow, Harry Potter, whoa, and then the next scene is like, you know, someone beating a kid. It's just kind of strange in terms of tone, but it's a slight negative. I wouldn't really call it a negative, more of like a slight gripe with it, but anyway, I'm going to give Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, I'll give it an A, how about that? I really enjoyed it. There's not much to hate, you know, I'm not counting the CGI flag, because that's, you have to look for it. Some of the CGI is a bit rubbery, but that's very, you know, very not that noticeable, because there's, you know, it's supposed to be. I mean, you can't actually have real magic in the film. There are scenes where CGI will be bad in these movies, but so far in Where to Find Them, there is no bad CGI. It's just noticeable, and there's a difference. And of course, the tones are a little bit off. Sometimes you go from really dark to really light. But again, slight negatives. I gave it an A. I thought it was a great film. It's easily one of my, I mean, you know, upon rewatching it, it might be one of my favorite movies. I mean, it's freaking great. You know, I love the acting and the writing and the directing. Everything's just on par, and I can't wait to keep watching these Wizarding World films. So again, tell me in the comments what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed my review. I have all these movies yet to go, so hope you guys are excited. If you're new, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.